Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Just going to give you guys kind of a public service announcement or a public announcement on a product. A lot of folks, I'm up to 20,700 subs. A lot of times these kind of things that I review, they overlap, where some guys might follow me for watches or hot tubs or leather jackets, and then I put up a video, you discover it, and you might discover a product you didn't even know existed and didn't even know you really needed, right? So today I'm going to share another product by Binize, and this is one of their smart Android boxes. And what this basically does in a nutshell, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this video, but what this does, I'll put the link in the description. Again, read about it. If I can help you in any way, I'm always here to lend, some information. If I don't have it, I'll try to get it for you. But what this does is you plug this into your car's system through USB port, and if your car has Apple CarPlay from the factory, again, consult the list on whether or not your car is compatible. Most cars with Apple CarPlay are. What this does is, so to speak, hijack your car's Apple CarPlay, not on a permanent basis, only when this is plugged in, overrides it and layers Android on top of it. So what that means is that you can basically have an Android tablet built into your car. This allows you to watch things like Netflix, where your car maybe most likely didn't come with Netflix installed. I don't think they usually do. For me, a big selling feature would be YouTube Music, because that's what I use mainly to listen to my music, which is great. So that allows you to listen to music through your car system. And of course, let's say you have a security system in your house you want to be able to access. Maybe you want an email, Gmail you want to throw on this. You can't do that with a lot of factory systems. This allows you to put on most Android apps. Only downside, you can't access the Apple or the Google Play Store. So installing the apps, you'll have to kind of learn about that. Again, they have great customer service. Contact them. You can find other content. If you can sideload an app on any of these other brands, you'll be able to do it on this. It's probably the same process, although I've only done it on Fire Stick. So what sideloading basically means, you're going to install that app using other apps, maybe connect it with USB. That's kind of how it works. In addition to that, there are other features like GPS and maps and navigation, but in all honesty, anybody who has a car with Apple CarPlay generally is going to have a GPS navigation system built in you're going to use. But once you load this, you can access any of the apps right through this app. Think of this as almost like a virtual box. If you're not familiar with that is, that's basically like if you have a Windows-based operating system, you install VirtualBox and you open VirtualBox, and VirtualBox is like a computer within a computer that allows you to install Android or, like, let's say iOS on top of another operating system. So you're using that other operating system like a second computer within the first device. So that's kind of how this works. You're basically, think of this as like your cell phone that gets kind of like fused into your factory radio, and that allows you to use an Android-based operating system on top of your factory system, on top of the Apple CarPlay. So again, I think the main feature of this is going to be able to use YouTube Music, and Netflix. Again, you can put an HBO Go on there. Any app you can sideload onto this, you can use on top of your Apple CarPlay, if that makes sense. So pretty cool. I'm not going to read you everything that's on here. As far as the connections, USB-C, status light behind this kind of like it's like a grill here. It is pretty bright, so you'll be able to see if it's on or not. You do have a USB-C connection, USB-C, USB 3.0, and then HDMI. The USB 3.0, again, you can put in, if you want to sideload your apps, that's pretty much, I believe, how you're going to do it. And then, of course, a mini USB stick or USB drive with your music and files on there for you to watch. Again, if you're only going to use this for that feature, you can just do that usually with your car system, but it probably won't let you watch movies, whereas this will let you watch like MP4s and stuff like that, to the best of my knowledge. Right? I haven't tested that, but usually that's how they work. Just like if you were to watch a MP4 on your Android phone, you could watch it, right? There are legalities with watching movies while you're driving. So again, I don't recommend any of that. Keep the distractions down. People are distracted enough updating their friggin' Facebook while driving. So it's pretty ridiculous. But again, maybe you have other screens in the car, maybe you have kids, maybe you're a safe driver and you have the ability to focus on the road while a movie's playing for your kids or your guests or your passengers or whatever. Don't watch and drive. It's ridiculous. But anyway, it's definitely a cool tool, and there's lots of products out there like this. I can only speak on Binize and their car audio products I've reviewed in the past. I like their stuff, and I think you will too. Now you might be wondering, what is the HDMI port for? This allows you to bring it to your house and hook it up to any HDMI TV, right, or monitor. I don't see the point of that because generally when you buy this, it's going to be in the car. And when you load this, just without loading it on top of CarPlay, you are loading the operating system, but you still have to be able to interact with it. And generally, TVs aren't touchscreen, right? Generally, computer monitors, they can be touchscreen, but none of mine are. So there's really no way that I could find to interact. You might be able to maybe sync a Bluetooth remote control of this, but it's a lot to go through when if you want to bring these apps into your house, you could just buy a simple Walmart ONN stream box for like $13 to $15 or any of the other hundreds across the internet and have something plugged in. It's not like it's really expensive to buy one of those. So I think it's kind of in all honesty, one of these features that, you know, in sales, we would talk about feature, action, benefit. What is the feature? How are you going to relate that to the customer's concern or something the customer wants? What is the feature? What is the action? And then how does it benefit the customer, right? I don't see how this benefits the customer at all. You're going to buy this for the car. So again, this is really for somebody who wants to add Apple Music, Android apps to your car system with Apple CarPlay. You didn't get it from the factory, you want Android, this is how you do it. So I would definitely install this in my car. You know, I'm a techie guy, but all my vehicles are older and I have aftermarket stereos, thank God. I don't have to deal with factory stuff. But the Jaguar, for instance, does not. Jaguars at that time where the technology was getting like, whoa, this is really advanced. And now it's like, okay, that kind of sucks. So the only way you can't really add anything. I don't even have a USB port in the Jag. So kind of stuck there streaming through FM or, believe it or not, CDs. So, but this will definitely work for many, many people out there. Again, consult the listing, links in the description, see if it'll work for your car. It usually does, and try to keep the distractions at a minimum, folks. All right, so have a great day, folks. If I can help you in any way, drop me a comment or drop me an email. I'm always there to lend a hand. But before I stop, I showed you the device. Again, pretty small, really easy to tuck away. Box, I'm not going to get, you get your USB-C connection. You do get your USB-C to USB-C and standard USB to USB-C. It's nice to give you that depending on your car. A little, hey, contact Binize if you have any problems. Again, the box is showing off kind of how it looks. This is what the interface is going to look like. Very similar to like you might find on an NVIDIA Shield or any of the Google Play kind of boxes. And it does just say here, HDMI independent cinema mode. Independent desktop UI for multiple scenarios. So that's kind of nice. It does have its own, it's very similar to what you'll see on Netflix, in all honesty, or if you've ever loaded your smart screen on a smart TV, it's kind of like that. They're all pretty universal. But again, without having any way to interact with that, I just don't see how that's going to work for you. So again, I didn't test that too far. It's not something I'm going to hook up to a TV in the house. This is something that down the road, should I get that new modern Cadillac or more modern, not brand new, use my, me, I don't go crazy on spending money on $50,000 cars. There's so many great pre-owned cars that need a little love. I'm all about that. But 2012 Jags might have CarPlay. 2012, 2013 Cadillac, XTS, CTSs, ATSs, maybe. But again, if you have any of those cars, I found kind of the year is in that 2012-ish to 2016 and up mark. So consult the list. If I can help you in any way, let me know. And as always, I want to thank Binize for the collaboration opportunity. I love their products, and I think you will too. Have a great day, folks, and take care.